Track's already off. Now, granted, I was using this in the wrong way. Okay, so today is the first day with the mini excavator. I bought this thing for just under $12,000. It's the cheapest thing I could find on the market, but it comes with a 3-year parts warranty. And yeah, what can I say? It's the cheapest thing I could find online that had an actual store in Australia, which is UHI. You can see the brand right there. This particular one has a working load, or safe working load, of just 80 kilograms. But you can see here, it lifts me up. I'm 75 kilo, lifts me up, no dramas. And I even got my brother to get on there. He's just under 150 kilo, and it lifted him up with me as a counterweight on the seat. When I hopped off to go and take a video from side on, it wouldn't lift him. So the diesel fuel that it holds in it and the person on it is a lot to do with the counterweight there. So yeah, I've just been playing. This is the dirt that I've done so far, and check this out. Track's already off. Now, granted, I was using this in the wrong way. See, the cogs are on this end up here and the flat blade on that end, and I was trying to reverse up the hill. I know that when you go up the hill, you're meant to put the cog at the bottom because all the strain goes downhill. So in this scenario, that cog trying to turn that way is pulling the track over, as opposed to pulling it from under. If it's on the bottom, then it's pulling it forward. So a bit of a pisser. I've never ever thrown a track on any other machine in my whole life, but I was also using it wrong in this scenario. So now I'm going to try and figure out this track. I believe I take off that cover there, and that will wind this back in, and then put the track back on, and then wind it forward again. Bit of a pisser. Not something I intended on doing today, but it sort of is my fault. I knew better. It's something I've never had happen in any other machine, but when you're working with the cheapest of the cheapest, sometimes you've got to be a bit more cautious. I will say, for anybody curious, this machine is pretty good. The most offensive thing about it, well, there's a couple things. They warned me in store that the air intake, which is it's air-cooled motor. So the air-cooled motor sucks in heaps of dust. You got to keep the filters clean. Also, the engine sucks in heaps of dust. Keep those filters clean. They've been getting quite a few engines back completely dusted before the 3-year warranty's up. I won't be doing that much work with this thing. I bought it just for a job here and a job there, and just to keep. But it's interesting to note, nonetheless, make sure you keep on top of your filters. The air intake is in a bad spot, but with such a small machine, you're pretty hard-pressed to pick a good spot. Beyond that, the most offensive thing, and I mean the most offensive thing, is just the single pot motor. You know, just like any motorbike or anything out there with only a single cylinder, you know, there's no harmony in it. It's bop, 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 bop. And, you know, that's about as offensive as it gets. But for $11,990, this thing, you know, it's a bargain. It did also come with a heap of different, I think 9 different attachments. You got the 800 blade, 500 blade, 380 blade, and a 200 blade, and then you've got auger and a 200 mil bit for that. And Damien and Aaron in South Australia here were kind enough to throw in another 300 mil auger for me, which I'm yet to pick up. But anyway, I'm going to get this track back on, and then I'll show you this thing working a bit. There's a winder in there. So we've got a winder just in here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll let that adjust. There it is. And that is going to put tension on that there. Tell you one thing, it doesn't feel official. It doesn't feel good at all. I don't know if it's just because there's no tension on it or what. Okay, well, I ended up finding this in the toolkit. I don't know if you can see that. It is a massive socket. It goes over the big nut there, and then you have to crack the little nut from there. Oh, fuck, that's done up tight. Okay, so what I did is I put the front blade all the way down, like you can see. I pulled the entire tension wheel out, and this is what was in that hole there. This is my pain in the ass. I couldn't get this to turn, I suspect, because this lock nut, well, if you look at that big nut there, he's binding to that. So the thread's binding between them. So I've got to crack this big nut. Once I've cracked that, then undo the little one. I'm gonna go see how I go with that. Okay, so I managed to get the big nut to crack. I think that's the trick, even when it's in there, to crack the big nut first. Then, once that's cracked, you want to release this pressure here. I still think it would be a pain in the ass to do it in there, but we'll find out soon enough because I've got to do it back up. Hopefully this will help one of you guys out there when you throw a track, because nothing I've seen online is this clear. Even the crap that they sent you or the user manual is not this clear. I'll give you a look at what it looks like on the other side here. Let me just take my gloves off. So, that's your big tensioning wheel. That goes like that, and all this does is sit in there. Now, the middle of that, or the front of this, pushes on that there. So, the further that this is wound in, the harder it pushes. So, hopefully with it wound out like that, I'll be able to slide it back in. There's a view inside for those of you that are curious. See how we go. Okay, so I think that's done the trick now. I could do it looser, but I don't want to. Track's back on. If the instructions were just that little bit clearer, it'd probably be a piss easy job. This has taken me, I don't even know, probably 2 hours to fix this, because I'm out in the sticks and I don't have any good reception. All right, now I've just got to redo the tensioner and then I'm back to work. Okay, so we're next day now, and I just wanted to show you the work we've done. Look, the excavator dug this. This is just a footing for a retaining wall. I also got it all the way down to here. The work it's done isn't the interesting part. The interesting part is the level that I took it down. So, I mean, from here, which is the bottom footing, it must be close to 3 meters up there. So the slope that I was driving this on, and I do not recommend anyone to drive a mini excavator on any slope, but I've been on machines just about my whole life. It did it no dramas. It actually drove out of this 3 different times. I put it up the top. It drove out of here with no sweats. I did have to use the bucket, put the bucket down and track at the same time as pushing with the bucket, which is pretty commonplace, but you know what, for the most part, this thing was absolutely perfect. I got pissed off yesterday when the tracks came off. It took me like an hour and a half or something to figure it out. And then, a bit later, the other track came off, and that one took me like 5 minutes. It took me no time at all to get back on. So that was very much just a learning experience and getting to know your machine. Would I recommend you buy it? Look, if you're doing commercial work of any form whatsoever, no, absolutely not. If you're doing something like I am, where look, the big machines are too big. There's no way I'd put a big machine down that hill. It'd be scary as hell. The big machines would never fit, and we needed a small machine for it. The hire rates are so stupid. I think at Kennards I got quoted this is standard pricing, but Kennard's quoting something like $480 a day now, and this thing's 11 grand or 11.99, and you own it. So I just thought, look, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to do this job. I've got 2 or 3 other jobs lined up that just need a small machine, and then I might sell it. I don't know. I might keep it, but for the most part, it's got my thumbs up, and it's an awesome little machine. Another thing I did want to say about this is it was smooth. A lot of the time when you get in these small machines, if you're pulling the right lever back and then you're pushing your left leg lever over to the side, they can become jolty and bumpy and dysfunctional. It was absolutely fine. The only time that I found any bump is if I was slewing full speed and then stopped and changed direction, and you hear it just slow down, which is common in just about every excavator, but this being such a little baby, more so. But honestly, in regards to its actual use, everything about it was perfect. The only thing I will say, if you're looking to do a bit more work and you want ergonomical, they build more expensive ones, but they're building the new ones or soon to come with these handles back here next to you. So when you're sitting, it's just next to you. In this one, I'm sitting halfway up the seat just to reach the handles, which, you know what, who cares? Like, it's such a small detail, such a small machine. Honestly, go for it. If you're thinking about buying one, go for it. It's been awesome. This is only the first couple of days, but honestly, so far so good. Even with the tracks, now I know how to fix it, and hopefully I help someone else out. Even with the tracks pumping off, it's a great little machine. Also, if you want to see more of this machine doing a particular motion, if you want to see its strength or something like that, just put it in the comments and we'll make another video. All right, guys, thanks for watching.